Honestly, if YouTube lets me upload this video, I will be shocked. I have made a video on Viva La Bam, I have made a video that I was never able to upload on Robin Big, and now I feel like it's only appropriate to do a video on Wildboyz. Picture it, I'm a child with a developing brain, I'm ready to soak in every ounce of knowledge that I can get. I'm watching TV with my brother, and he decides to put on a nature show. The show comes on, and this is what I see.
Australia. Island.
Country.
Continent.
Prison.
Paradise.
I was hooked. You know when we were all kids and we would play with like our Game Boys or our DS's or whatever console we had as kids, and we'd play them throughout the night, and we'd hear our parents coming to check up on us, and we would scramble and throw the console under our pillow and pretend to be sleeping? Yeah, that happened quite often to me as a kid. Specifically when I was watching this. Wildboyz was another glorious addition to the Jackass spin-offs, and it aired on MTV from 2003 to 2006. The premise was simple enough. Hosts Steve-O and Chris Pontius take us around the world to teach us about different animals and the culture of the area that they live in. In terms of hosting, Steve-O was usually found in at least a few scenes each episode in a not so great mood. I mean, granted, Steve-O was dealing with a pretty gnarly drug addiction at the time, so grumpiness was expected for sure. Not that he wasn't ever funny on this show, he was.
That lady can sing.
But Chris, seeing Chris angry, it was never gonna happen. I think I remember seeing Chris angry maybe once or twice, and I listened to his interview once where he was claiming that when they would go on these trips, a lot of the time he could not have any drugs on him whatsoever. So when you see him being grumpy and aggravated and angry all the time, it's most likely due to withdrawals.
Oh. Hey, buddy. Ow!
Therefore, we needed somebody to counteract that behavior and show us the positive side of hosting. And thus, we get Chris Pontius. Oh, and if you're not comfortable seeing nearly naked bodies throughout an entire series, this might not be the show for you. I think it's also impossible to deny the homoeroticism that was oozing through this show.
You see, Wildboyz was super homoerotic. We just got a real kick out of wearing G-strings and like doing homosexually suggestive stuff because we felt that like the macho sort of jock, like a homophobic people, we loved the idea of getting a rise out of them.
When Sarko, Phyllis, Satanic, and Steins, it likes to start with door number 2. How about you?
I'm here with David Weathers. He's not only a venomous snake expert, he's also the general manager of a zoo. He works with a lot of dangerous animals, and there's a wiener in my butt. So he's gonna whip it out with a bullwhip.
Rain on me.
Coming from watching Jackass to watching Wildboyz is somewhat of a relaxing come down, and I know that sounds weird, but hear me out. Jackass was known for going all out, explosions, fire, shit, piss, broken bones, and so on. Wildboyz was essentially the same thing, but at least we got to see guys playing with animals. And of course, it was only the most sophisticated version of playing with animals.
I don't know how many jellyfish I made contact with, ow, but my balls, my package is ruined.
Or I guess it should say it was 3 guys, because who could forget Manny Puig? Manny's a wilderness expert and a ray of knowledgeable sunshine that came along on the guys' journey to make sure that they didn't die when dealing with these animals. According to the guys, Manny hardly ever said no to a stunt with animals, so you knew that when he said no, it meant fuck no.
The first day we ever filmed with Manny, and Knoxville says, okay, I want to get bit by a rattlesnake, and Manny says, no, that's not, Like when Manny says it's not okay, like he did with Knox, it's not fucking okay. And if Manny says it is okay, that doesn't mean it's fucking okay. Manny counted as a professional. So as long as we had Manny with us, no matter what the fuck idea we come up with, we're allowed to do it because it's under the supervision of Manny, who's the professional.
What's your profession?
My profession is,
I self-educated. I have a degree. My profession is I just have a reputation.
They had other recurring members too, such as snake expert David Weathers, Wee Man, and the Black Mamba. Watching this show as a kid, as stupid as it can be, it truly was educational for me. And a lot of that knowledge stuck with me to this day. I still remember certain animals specifically because of this show. I remember when I was in the 7th grade, my English teacher handed out an animal word search to the class, to keep us occupied. It was probably around summertime. And so I circled wombat in the animal word search, and this lady had the gall to tell me that a wombat wasn't a real animal. Even though Google existed, I don't know why she didn't just Google. Beyond the point. I knew a wombat was real. Thank you, boys. Take that, Patty. A lot of the stuff that they did on this show is too gross to put in this video, so I'm gonna be careful about the episodes I choose. So I wanted to start with the Argentina episode. I picked this one for no reason.
Here we are in Argentina with Johnny Knoxville, and today we are gauchos.
Argentinian for cowboys.
Legendary horsemen of Argentina, gauchos are skilled herdsmen and cattle ranchers that live upon the grassy plains of the Pampas region.
God, can you imagine if they had to make a Wildboyz episode on where, I live? The lack of culture all around me, there's just nothing.
These are electric cattle prods. It is time for a duel. Undone!
You bastard! What's the president of Argentina's name?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wrong answer. Assume the goddamn position.
Oh no!
This man is getting his ass publicly cattle prodded, and he's still managing to laugh about it.
I'll have you know, Chris, that I'm preparing to zap your buttocks.
In a spectacular hunting display that occurs nowhere else on Earth, orcas patrol the beaches of Punta Norte to prey upon sea lion pups entering the water for the first time.
We've come to a place called Punta Norte because at this site, something happens here that happens nowhere else on the planet.
Killer whales slide up onto the beach and grab baby seals. This is the most violent display of nature that Mother has to offer. There's always a lot of competition among scientists. Here's a team over there from Germany. A real bunch of nerds like, we are going to get the shot. Oh.
Not only did they teach me interesting facts about these animals and these different cultures, it showed me the sheer brutality of nature. This scene is a huge example of that. Not many viewers want to see seal cubs getting thrashed around and preyed on, but it's a normal part of the animal chain that should be studied. I chose this next episode randomly. I chose the Florida episode for no reason.
We're in the marshlands of southern Florida with David Weathers, a venomous snake expert, and Johnny Knoxville, movie star. Oh boy.
The snake is known as water moccasin, but it's also called the cottonmouth. Dave Weathers doesn't use any wussy sticks.
David Weathers has also been bitten a couple of times.
Chris, one false move and that snake will kill you.
I'm glad you've taught me how to do this, David. From now on, I'm going to do it every time I see a deadly snake.
I don't know what else to say. This man is a marvel.
It's midnight and I'm ready to party.
Unfortunately, this cooler is not full of beer. It's full of baby loggerhead turtles. We have to film this with our special night vision cameras as to not disorient the turtles. All right, we're gonna have a little fun now. We're gonna race these turtles into the sea.
All right, this is Poncherelli.
This is Sharky.
This is pubes.
This is Gooch. This one is Siffy.
This one is Beatty.
I love the immediate change from Manny's names for the turtles to the rest of the guys.
This is Sharky.
This is pubes.
We didn't come to Australia to get attacked by animals. We came here to play with the lovable and friendly koala bear. Oh! Oh!
Hold him.
God, he's ripping me open, dude.
Hold him over.
Oh!
No.
Oh!
You know, the more I watch of this show, I'm starting to realize why my mother checked up on me so much in the middle of the night when I was a kid, seeing as the only noise that she could hear from my room was this.
Today we have a featherweight boxing match between Steve All Balls O and the Tasmanian Melon, Mr. Rufus Wallaby. Come on, fight, boys!
That's the meanest fighter in all time.
Get in this, Steve-O!
Rufus knows what he wants, and he's got good tastes, so I respect him.
Rain on me.
Mr. Rufus Wallaby's manager's carefully watching from the corner. Billy the Wombat.
Rain on.
There are 3 animals that I will always remember from this show. The wombat, Patty, the black mamba, and the Sarcophilus satanicus.
Now it's time to meet and worship Sarcophilus satanicus.
The Tasmanian Devil.
Walking through the woods, the boys happen upon the carcass of a dead wallaby.
We will now make an offering to the Sarcophilus satanicus. Sarcophilus satanicus. Sarcophilus satanicus. Sarcophilus satanicus. Sarcophilus satanicus. Sarcophilus satanicus.
My brother wanted me and him to get matching Sarcophilus satanicus tattoos. He is much more riskier when it comes to tattoos. I gotta think about it for a while, so who knows? But for now, I'm putting a timeout on that one.
Arise from the fiery grave and tear the flesh from the wallaby. Take us to hell. Sarcophilus satanicus. Tear and rip the flesh from the wallaby. What have we learned about Sarcophilus satanicus? Absolutely nothing at all.
You know, as dumb as this show can be, I can't deny that this was probably one of the first nature shows that grabbed my attention as a kid. Between this and like The Crocodile Hunter, those are the 2 that I can think of that were the first to really get my attention. As a kid, I loved animals, and I spent a lot of my childhood reading books on any and all animals. There was a time in my life where I really wanted to be a vet, and then as I got older, I realized it meant I had to see sick and hurt animals all day, and I kind of chucked out the idea of that after a while. But before that, I was all in. I had so many books and magazines on Oh! Do you guys remember Zoo Books? I had every single edition. I was obsessed. I was a little Steve Irwin with all this animal knowledge from Zoo Books. At the end of the day, I mean, these Jackass spin-off shows, they knew what they were doing. I don't think I have ever seen another show like Wildboyz before or since this. As gross as some of the bits could be, I would drop everything to watch this show when I was a kid. It's been like over 15 years, and I'm still retaining knowledge that I learned from this show. And I think it's really sweet that Chris and Steve-O are still friends, and Steve-O got clean. That's awesome. I'm very proud of him. Chris is a father now, you know? Steve-O's sticking with his sobriety, and he looks incredible. I feel like we're all collectively watching each other grow from these shows. Am I thinking too much into it? Most likely. Should I condense this down into a simpler ending? Sure. Bye!